My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Welcome, and happy Thursday. Man, I am so, look at that. The sun came out, we're lit up, I'm so excited. Happy Thursday, by the way. Man, it is an amazing day in South Lake County. I can't tell you how much I appreciate being part of this community. I am so excited today. We have a very special guest today. Took me a while to get her scheduled and find, because she's very, very busy. We have today as a guest, I'm going to talk about her first instead of the other things on the fourth thing, is Miss Michaela McLean, Miss Florida 2019. She's absolutely delightful. Seen her at several events, and finally we've been able to get her on the show. We have brought up her picture here. This is her website, I believe. And this is her Facebook. She's an absolute delight, quite an intelligent young woman. And I just have to say that I was quite complimented that she said she was just as excited to be here on the show with us. And I thought that was very, very gracious. All right. What are we going to talk about today? We have a great show for you today. We're going to talk about the Boston Massacre, this day in history. We're going to talk about next week's lineup. We have some very important guests next week. So I'm going to talk about the lineup for next week. Cup of Joe, we're going to continue talking about reflections, and I'm going to make a mention about journaling and how it can add to your reflection time. And then finally, we're going to bring Michaela on, and I'm going to have a very good time with this interview. We have some great notes. This is going to be one of those interviews where I'm sorry I don't have like an hour and a half. So, Jay, I got to do a podcast so we can get more time with some of these people, man.
That's going to be stage 2.
Stage 2. I'm liking it.
We'll get Joe Knows podcast.
I'm liking it. All right. Look, we're going to hear from our sponsors, those that we love that help us pay the bills, and those that are smart enough to brand their business directly to their customers here in South Lake. So we're going to hear from them, and when we get back, we'll get started. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Check out these gourmet deals from Bertram Clermont, like our daily deals. Milkshake specials. Kids eat free. That's right, kids 10 and under eat free every Monday with purchase of an adult combo. Choose from delicious protein combos like beef, chicken, lamb, fish, veggie, and even the Impossible Burger. Milkshakes are buy one, get one free Monday through Friday from 2 to 5 p.m. Stop into Bertram Clermont today to take advantage of our daily deals, like the Monday Crispy Chicken Combo, the Tuesday Falafel Combo, the Wednesday Angus Beef Combo, and the Thursday Spanish Beef Combo. Gourmet deals from Bertram Clermont, located just off Highway 27 and the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza. Bertram, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
My name is Michael Singh, Agency Principal of Singh Insurance and Financial Services. We offer auto insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Our office number is 352-432-1646, and you can also check us out on our website at www.singhinsurancegroup.com.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. As I said, we love our sponsors. Welcome back. Michael Singh, great guy. Call him to have an audit of your policies. He'd love to do it. One of the things I like about Michael Singh is he's a lot like me. When I'm dealing with real estate, you all know, can you miss it? I'm a RE/MAX titanium agent, full-time realtor. And when people call me up, many times I go into their house not expecting business. I'm there to just help them and figure out what's going on. Take a look at the house, take a look at their situation, plug them in with somebody. Can you buy a new construction? Are you at the place where you need to move? Do you want to move? Does moving make sense? And sometimes I tell people, I know that you're caught up with the whole new construction thing, but it doesn't make sense for you right now. And let them make their own decisions. Michael Singh, in the same way, does that for people with insurance. He will come out and take a look at your policies, not necessarily expecting business. He's not one of those turn and grind people that are going to talk you into switching something that's working for you. He just wants to make sure it works for you. The other one we had here was Bertram. Love him to death. You know how I feel about their fries and stuff. So, but today they have the Spanish beef special. It's a bit spicy. They use chorizo and jalapeno peppers in the making of that burger. So, get out there and try it. It's $8.99. Comes with a drink and fries, I believe. I think we've made their Angus beef special so popular that they were struggling to keep up on the fries yesterday. So good job, guys. Please, if you go use these sponsors, mention South Lake TV and Joe Knows South Lake. All right, getting started. The Boston Massacre. In 1770, the Boston Massacre happened on this day, March 5th. Why do I talk about it? You know, it's so easy to forget, and we're talking about reflection on Cup of Joe. It's so easy to forget that literally hundreds of years ago, people started ponying up. The Boston Massacre was a resounding cry. Some British soldiers who were in the process of trying to enforce taxation laws and deny property rights to colonists. Fired into a crowd and killed several people. Five victims. Crispus Attucks was one of them. There was a child in that. You can read all about this. The thing I wanted to say about the Boston Massacre and things like this, it's important to remember things like this. This is when Americans started ponying up for their rights. This event was really a seed of understanding for many people who were on the fence. We didn't want to live in a country where soldiers from another place could enforce their will upon the people at the end of a gun. And for 200 some odd years, Americans have been paying that price to make sure that doesn't happen. This year, you get to vote. As a matter of fact, March 17th is a primary election. That's when you get to pony up. You don't necessarily have to stand in a crowd at the face of bullets. You can make your voice heard to protect your freedoms through your right to vote. Exercise it. Okay, I'm going to move on because I want to leave plenty of room. The lineup next week. On Monday, I have some cast members from the Farndale Avenue Macbeth play at Moonlight Players going on. There's a link I'll be sharing soon where you can buy tickets if you want to. Tuesday, we have Lake County Sheriff Peyton Grinnell, coming on. I'm excited to have him. Wednesday is Alan Hayes, Lake County Supervisor of Elections. He's going to give us some very important news, not only about the upcoming elections, but in some of the ways that they're working very, very hard to keep elections fraud-free and fair. On Thursday, I'm hoping to have a pre-recorded segment from Ritter's on Thursday. Ritter's Ice Cream, been dying to get in there, finally put it together. So we're looking forward to that. And Friday, a friend of the show and friend of the symphony, Larry Oskin. Larry is a PR consultant. And so I'm going to bring Larry on, and we are going to talk about the importance of public relations in your marketing plan for your business. So if you own a business, that'll be a very important show for you to tune into. All right, that's next week's lineup. Very quickly, tonight, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., we have the Bunny Review. Jay just brought this up. This is to raise funds for the team that is competing in the Bras for the Cause and Boxers 2 event coming up to benefit the Greater Greater Clermont Cancer Foundation. This is the Leather and Lace Classic Rock. This is a good time. This Bunny Review and Your Sweetie Too is going to be is sponsored by the South Lake Business Leaders to support Karen Rose and Bras for the Cause. All funds go to the Greater Cancer Foundation and is happening at the Lake Catherine Farms at 5849 Lake Catherine Road. Also, if you have a business, you want to be a vendor at the Clermont Waterfront Festival, it's going to happen on Saturday, May 16th. Make sure you reach out. Sponsored by Orlando Health and South Lake Hospital. This Waterfront Festival is one of the seminal events of the year. Don't miss it. It's also sponsored by New Beginnings. Okay. It is First Friday, which means we have First Friday food trucks downtown, starting at 5:30 p.m. And finally, I just got a thing from our friends Marie Howd, the Greater Clermont Cancer Foundation, a mouthful and a half, is having Community Appreciation Day at Stormy Hill Harley Davidson on 2480 Highway 27, Saturday, March 7th, from 12 to 4 p.m. Games, let me see. Hang on, give me half a minute. Okay, that is free event, food and drinks to purchase, adult beverages, family friendly. It's a free event. They have all sorts of entertainment and things to do. So get out there and enjoy yourself. Okay, Jay, how am I doing on time? I got 2 minutes. All right. I'm gonna briefly talk to Cup of Joe. I'm gonna briefly talk about reflecting, which is what we've done all week. I'm not gonna go into the details of how I journal. I just want to talk about journaling in general, very, very quickly. You know, when I changed my life 13 years ago, when I went through that period that I went from being the most awful husband, father, and human being I could be, to actually seeing the need to be a decent dad, to be a decent husband. Not saying I ever became one, but I started working on it. Part and parcel, probably one of the biggest tools that I was taught at that time was how to journal. I asked personal questions of God in my journal and let him answer them through my own hand, just writing what he wants me to do. Now, I have a whole method, and we'll go into that in a later show. But what I want to encourage you is that we talked yesterday about one of the times that you should be reflecting is daily. Every morning you should get up and reflect. One of the tools in my journal is I always find 3 things to be grateful for. That's a perfect way to start the day. Find 3 things to be grateful for. You won't be so focused on the failures and disappointments of yesterday if you wake up today and you focus on the 3 things you're going to be grateful for. At the end of the day, you can use your journal to really get some perspective on what you did right. Even though you may have had disappointments or failures, you did something right. If it was just to pray for your spouse or your kids, if it was to encourage somebody in the line at the grocery store, or to pray for somebody who'd gotten in a car accident that you're driving past because the ambulance is there, you can find something at the end of every day that says you did something right. The other thing I would suggest you use your journal for is at the end of the day, or in the morning talking about the previous day, look at the things you did wrong, the things you had control of. What did you not do that you should have done? Or what did you do that you should not have done? Understanding these things, accepting them, and admitting that you were wrong can change your life in ways that are difficult to understand, particularly to explain in the time I have available. Trust me, though, it works. All right, I'm going to leave it at that, and we'll do a full section at some point in time on journaling when I have more time. Heck, I might do that as a whole side Cup of Joe on Facebook. So now we get to the best part. Michaela McLean, Miss Florida. We're going to go to commercial break because I want to get her out here. I'm just going to say stay tuned. She'll join us in just a minute. Be right back. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Okay, so Noah wasn't aware, but we decided that we're going to take Noah's braces off today, just a few weeks early. Noah, we're going to take your braces off.
Is that okay?
You okay with that?
Yeah.
For real?
When I came into the orthodontist today, I had no idea that my braces were going to be taken off.
Alright, you ready to do this? Okay, little bit tight. I'm gonna push on this tooth here, okay? Great job. He was in treatment for about a year just to fix some of the alignment of his upper and lower teeth. And yeah, we just surprised him. All right, are you ready to take a look? They look really, really good.
I finally get to feel what it feels like without braces anymore. I love my new smile and everything looks great.
50 West, pre-leasing now in Clermont. A first-of-its-kind commercial development in the Southeast. Contact us today to reserve your spot in this historic development. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165. Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767. Or visit lease@50west.com.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome back. Look, again on our sponsors, I love you, but I want to give as much time to Michaela as I can. We're all really excited to have her here. You know, we appreciate all of our guests, but you're really kind of in a special range because you're famous.
Oh my gosh, no. But thank you.
Welcome, Michaela.
Thank you. It's so great to be here.
I want to start. I better pull out my notes or I'll get so confused. This is Michaela McLean. I'm going to do the introduction. She is obviously Miss Florida 2019. You know, it's funny. We had the pre-interview. You didn't have the thing. There is some air of when you put it on of officialness. She is Miss Florida 2019. She is an ambassador through Miss Florida for the Everglades Foundation and Advanced Recovery Systems, a foundation that works within, and she works with middle schoolers delivering the message of recovery and addiction, or at least how to understand it, how to avoid it. I'm sure you see a lot of kids that their parents are addicts, you know, and so
honestly, even if they don't struggle with it, they know someone who maybe knows someone.
Right, it touches every life in America today. She has a bachelor's degree with a dual major in dance and PR from the University of Alabama. Michaela is also a podcaster. She has her own foundation called Be Brave and Be Beautiful. She is the host of that podcast. We're going to talk about some of that because I love the concept behind it. Tell us a little bit about you, Michaela. You're a daughter of South Lake County.
I am. So I'm an 8th generation Floridian. My family has been here for a very long time. I'm part of a family of 5th generation of citrus growers right here in the Central Florida community. And I'm from Clermont, and I've loved just being a Clermont native. My dad, my granddad, all my cousins, we all live right around Johns Lake, which is really fun.
Is your family still in Citrus?
Yes, they're still in Citrus. Yeah. So my uncle is actually Uncle Matt of Uncle Matt's Organic. You can find our orange juice on the shelves of Publix and Whole Foods and Kroger. So it's really cool. You can see a lucky face on the back. That's me.
Hang on, Michaela, you know, when my guests talk, I always write down, you got to connect me. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I love it. So yeah, I mean, Lake County just means so much to me because it is my roots, and it really has built me up to just honor family and honor the places that have shaped you to, you know, step into roles like this. And it is that community behind me that just encourages me throughout this year.
You know, you have obviously been in the area. Your family's been in the area for a little while. I'm sure in your young life you've seen a lot of changes. I know that I moved here 20 years ago, and I've seen massive change in the area.
Totally.
So we could talk about that, but I'd rather talk about how did you become Miss Florida? I was actually amazed in our pre-interview at how long you said the journey was. You know, I mean, I think that there's there's a mistaken impression that,
Right.
you're beautiful and Miss
Right.
Florida's coming up, you decide to do it and bang, you're in. But it took years,
It is
didn't
competitive, yes, sir. So the Miss America organization is actually the largest scholarship provider for young women in the nation. And so I knew going to an out-of-state university, the University of Alabama, that I needed scholarship to help pay off these costly student loans. And so I actually was Miss Florida's Outstanding Teen back in 2014, which is the teen version of Miss Florida.
Is that when you started?
It is when I started.
So you weren't one of these kids that was like 4 and,
No. I actually started in dance competitions when I was 7. And honestly, I saw pageants as just another way to perform and really just share my message and my love for the performing arts. And so that's why I went into it.
How was that conversation? I mean, you're 14 years old.
Right.
And you say to your mom, who's obviously accomplished herself, no family business operates without mom's organization.
You are so right. Shout out to the moms.
I mean, so what was that conversation like when you were 14? Was it, did you enter it lightly, or did mom say, hey, honey, this is going to take some years and work?
Well, my mom is always so supportive of every journey that I take. And I had a friend, Mary Catherine Fechtel and Elizabeth Fechtel, that were at my dance studio, and they became Miss Florida's Outstanding Teen. And later, Mary Catherine became Miss Florida, and Elizabeth became Miss America's Outstanding Teen. And I just saw the success that they were taking, or that they were getting from just benefiting from being a participant of this organization. And, my mom was like, they have had such a great time in this organization. I think you are making a good decision to go be Miss Florida's Outstanding Teen. And so she was so supportive of it. And then that whole year was my senior year of high school. I was 15 years old, where I was Miss Florida's Outstanding Teen, serving the state. And, we just saw like this is an incredible program that is not only sharpening me as an individual, but it is, creating connections. I was able to sharpen my interpersonal skills, my communication skills, my marketing skills, and that's what birthed the desire to be Miss Florida one day.
Now, Miss Florida took you, you were saying it was a 4-year journey to actually become Miss Florida, and you're only 22 years old.
I am. So I actually competed for Miss Florida just twice. I got first runner-up my first year, and then won this past year. And so I took 2 years off in college of not competing in any pageant.
Because you had to focus on the double major.
Exactly. Well, and it's really important to just focus on yourself as well.
Sometimes,
you can get wrapped up in climbing the ladder, and I honestly just took a break, and I wanted to present my best self when I knew I was going back into it. So it was over the years of 5 years on and off competing in the Miss America organization that I was able to win the teen and the Miss.
How did you make that decision to take time off? Was that, again, did your parents weigh in on that? It sounds like you're very grounded.
Yeah, my parents did have a little bit of their opinion, but they knew that that was a decision that I made for myself. It was so important that I knew, in my mind, body, and spirit, that I needed time just to really, strengthen my spirit, focus on college, make great relationships, and not be in the camera or be in the spotlight. You have to have those seasons where you pull back and no one really knows who you are, and that's where you grow the most.
I was telling somebody just recently, it's not we don't grow in those mountaintop experiences.
Totally.
It's cutting our way through the jungle is where we build our muscles, right?
100%.
In the valley.
It is in the valley, yes.
The mountain don't have no jungle,
Right. Well, and I would not be the person I am today without those seasons in college where, I didn't have a title. I was just Michaela, and it was a great season. And I'm about to go into another season like that right after this. And, the Lord just was continuing to work on my heart. I went through a season of loneliness and feeling unseen, but it was in that moment that I got to create messages that were genuinely from my heart that I get to share today as Miss Florida.
So tell us about being Miss Florida. What's it like to be Miss Florida?
It is a dream job, I will say. A lot of people are like,
start with that. It is a job.
It is a job. Absolutely.
You're just not floating around.
No.
You got wealthy parents supporting
absolutely
you.
Not. No,
you're working every day.
You are. It is a full-time paid job, and people don't realize that you do get paid as Miss Florida. Every appearance I do get paid, which is an incredible opportunity. And it's also a scholarship-based organization, so I was able to graduate the University of Alabama completely debt-free after I won the title of Miss Florida, which, praise God, because, that is a blessing. But yes, it is a job. I am in a different city literally every 48 hours. So right after this, I'm packing my bags and headed to Tampa. And after Tampa, I'm headed to Tallahassee. And after Tallahassee, I'm headed to West Palm. Wow. So we have a huge state, and
you have those today. You have those.
That's this weekend. In the
this
next
weekend?
4 days.
I was going to say,
Not today.
You're going to appear in West Palm. on tonight at 10 o'clock,
Exactly. But I'm an ambassador on behalf of several organizations, and so when I travel to these cities, I'm bringing in different curriculums that I'm able to teach to middle, high school students, and college-age students.
What does that mean for you as a person? You know, I think that, and you and I talked about this a little bit, that there is, I think, a lot of mistaken ideas still about pageants, about the women that are in them.
Absolutely.
And we talked about some of the attitudes you've had to deal with from other women.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that and how you overcome that. Because obviously, you know, you're not just some bit of fluff who looks pretty in a dress. You know,
Totally wrong, yeah.
You know, the idea that you did a double major, you know, inside of 4 years, you know, I mean, I know people that went 6 years to college and didn't manage it. You know, tell us about that. How do you combat that?
There is this misconception around pageants in general, because a lot of people think that it's a beauty pageant and just the most beautiful woman wins. But Miss America is different. Miss America is a scholarship-based organization. We have a talent phase. We have an interview phase. And really, we have rebranded in the past 2 years. It's now called Miss America 2.0, where we're now focusing in on each candidate's intellect and their social impact initiatives and where they're headed in their future, their ambitions. And that's what's really cool, is we're breaking that stereotype, showing that we are intelligent, we are accomplished, we are driven. It's not about the external, it's not about what we look like, because at the end of the day, all that fades, it all goes away. I'm not going to look like this in 5 years, you know. And so I really think that we're just trying to communicate.
Although I think you'll still look pretty good in 5 years.
Thanks. I might have a few more wrinkles, honestly. After this year, I'll have wrinkles. But no, I mean,
I know a woman who was a Miss America contestant back in 1972.
So cool.
She still looks amazing.
Amazing. They all are so
You know,
classy and beautiful.
You know, compared to what she looked like maybe
Right.
in 1972,
Right.
she's not, but she still looks
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
They keep themselves together. They seriously, all of them. I think all of them are stunning. But yeah, I think we're really just focusing more on the substance of the young women, and it's synergistic with my social impact initiative called Brave and Beautiful, that we're having that bravery to communicate and that vulnerability to communicate who we are at our core, our true worth and identity. And then it's okay to feel beautiful. It's okay to want to feel beautiful on the external, but knowing that you have that beauty on the inside is really what is going to make you feel satisfied.
I want to come back to that.
Absolutely. Okay.
Just before the break, I wanted to ask you how you deal with the idea that, you know, again, that when people confront you with you're just a bit of fluff, how do you deal with that? And you know, I really wanted to ask, you mentioned earlier that the Lord opened some doors for you, and you know, I'm a born again Christian, I know that you are. How does your faith layer into this? Because I'm sure many people that are in the pageant do not have faith, and there's a lot of stuff surrounding. I don't want to say the pageant, because Miss America's worked really hard to become a wholesome organization. They always have been, I like to think. You know, but I know that surrounding, anytime you get in the limelight, there's a certain culture that surrounds it.
Totally.
You know, how has your faith informed your ability to deal with that culture?
Great question. My faith is really just the core of who I am. And so every environment, every setting that I step into, I really just want to glorify God, because he really has put me there for a reason. With that being said, as Miss Florida, I have to be sensitive that I'm representing a whole state with different faiths, different cultures, you know, different beliefs. And so I really just want to have that discernment and just those open ears and that open mind to know, like, is this a place where I can minister? Is this a place where I can share what the Lord has done in my life? And if not, then I want people to see the Lord and what he's done just through who I am, through my actions, through the way that I communicate. And so that really is my prayer for this year. But I can say, I mean, even just being on the Miss America stage back in December, I'm like, I could never do this without the Lord. Like, seriously, I just couldn't. It was so nerve-wracking, so much pressure, so many cameras, and you are in the spotlight. I mean, I had more people looking at my every move and my every word at that point in life than any other time. And so I just really had to just pray, like, God, if this is an opportunity for you to speak in and through me, then this is the biggest spotlight that I'll have in a while. And I just want that opportunity to show. So, I think it's really just having that discernment of knowing, when is this an opportunity that I can minister to other people?
You know, and again, I said earlier, you're really well grounded. And I tend to think, I find this myself now that I'm in a little bit of a spotlight, is that many times that I get to share my faith one-on-one individually, and I have to have the discernment to know that here I'm representing Southlake County.
Right.
I'm trying to expose the entire county.
Totally.
Not just my opinions and faith. And so I would imagine you sound strong enough that you probably do an awful lot of that. And that's a podcast. We were talking about that.
That is a podcast in itself.
So phase 2, we're working on
Yeah.
that. So look, we're going to go to commercial break. When we get back, we're going to talk more about Michaela's Be Brave and Beautiful initiative. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Joe Knows Southlake would like to thank the following sponsors.
Your CBD store Clermont provides a wide range of high-quality, full and broad-spectrum CBD products. Topical creams, tinctures, water solubles, edibles, and even CBD products for your pets. From soil to oil, your CBD store Clermont sources and provides third-party lab tests for all products so that you know exactly what you're getting. Stop by your CBD store Clermont today to speak with one of our knowledgeable staff members to find the right CBD product for you.
Life is better when you're smiling. At Modern Orthodontics, Dr. Alan Wong has changed thousands of lives helping patients achieve the modern smile with braces and clear aligners. Utilizing digital scanning technology, Modern Orthodontics creates in-office 3D models for clearly modern aligners. Modern Orthodontics is conveniently located in Clermont, Apopka, and Bushnell. Call or text us to schedule your free exam and create your modern smile today.
50 West, pre-leasing now in Clermont. A first-of-its-kind commercial development in the Southeast. Contact us today to reserve your spot in this historic development. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165. Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767. Or visit lease@50west.com.
Are you tired of having drugs or alcohol ruin your life? Do you need to get off pain pills but still maintain pain relief? My office in Tavares has programs to help you. While not covered by insurance, program fees are affordable. My name is Alan Zupkin. I'm board certified and have helped thousands of patients achieve these goals. Please call me for further information.
Bertram, located in the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza on Highway 27, is the premier destination for gourmet burgers. Using only the freshest ingredients, Bertram offers a variety of burgers, salads, wings, and a whole lot more. Beef, chicken, lamb, fish, and even veggie. Bertram has something for everyone, no matter your dietary preference. Bertram, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
My name is Michael Singh, Agency Principal of Singh Insurance and Financial Services. We offer auto insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Our office number is 352-432-1646, and you can also check us out on our website at www.singhinsurancegroup.com.
Joe Knows Southlake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome back. Again, I'm so excited to have Miss Florida, Michaela McLean, with us. Am I saying this? McLean?
McLean, but
McLean.
I
Okay.
get both, yeah.
Michaela McLean. See, actually, I messed that up, but I don't feel bad about it. I am notorious for messing up the guest names.
You're fine.
But that one I don't feel bad about because it's just really a pronunciation
Right.
there on the end. We were just talking about your initiative for Be Brave and Be Beautiful, and
Yes.
the message that brings. And I know, having raised a daughter and having helped raise dozens of young ladies with my wife through the years, impacting them, this is an issue. The cultural acceptance of something. Look, And it's almost ironic that you're the one teaching this because you probably fit the cultural, iconic idea of what a woman should appear like, you know? Tell us about this. How did you get into the podcast? How did you get it started? Was there an event, somebody in your life got hurt?
So Brave and Beautiful empowers women in their true worth and identity. And it really goes against everything that social media tries to tell you, that you need to be this size, you need to post this, you need to find your worth in number of likes, comments, and followers. And I'm really bringing a message that says, like, no, you have to understand who you are at your core, who you're created to be, and the purpose and potential that you have is unique to every single person. And so it really started back when I was a young teenager, and I'm the oldest of 4 girls, so I have 3 younger sisters that I get to hear their stories from as well, and it's just crazy. I mean, we live in a social media world where you're constantly refreshing a feed. You scroll through a bottomless feed every single day, and it's just these perfected, filtered images of these women that get thousands and thousands of likes, and all these comments saying, you're perfect, you're beautiful, are you even real, how can I be like you? And it immediately starts to attack our identity of, like, am I supposed to be that? Like, do I need to post that in order for people to think that I'm perfect and real and all this stuff? And, we fall into this trap of comparison and jealousy and envy. And so being the oldest of 4 girls and then also having that personal testimony of struggling with comparison myself, I knew that this was a message that if I am struggling with, I know there's girls all across the state, nation, and world that are struggling with it as well. And so it started...
See, that's an interesting perspective to know that, though. I mean, so many people isolate themselves, and that's one of the ways that young women start to feel ugly is they think they're the only one that looks like that.
Absolutely.
That everybody else is gorgeous.
Right. And a lot of people have this misconception, too, that because...
Oh, we brought this up.
Oh, awesome. Yep, that's my Instagram page, Miss America FL, so you can follow me there. And our Instagram also for my social impact initiative is Be Brave and Beautiful. Yeah, and so go ahead and follow those. We try and share as many inspiring messages that are I don't know, they go straight to the heart of what young women are struggling with today.
Is this for women of all ages?
Or
do you tend to target teenagers, or is it...
It's mostly for my generation, but women of all ages actually struggle with the same struggles, whether you're 55 or you're 15. And so we try and bring in multi-generations of speakers and educators and podcast hosters that can help share their testimonies as well in their phase of life.
It's funny, and I shared with you, my wife and I raised dozens of kids other than our own, took in strays, and with the young men and the young women too. It started where my wife and I had to teach them that the danger of pornography was that was a created image that's not real.
Right.
And so it gave boys the wrong expectations and girls the wrong image of what they should look like.
Right.
I never in my life thought it would become normalized, that lesson would have to go to something like media and social media in general, so that when they look at the Kardashians, you got to understand there's been 15 handlers have put that post together.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't look like who's the youngest Kardashian? She's got a big thing
Kylie
going
Jenner.
on. Kylie Jenner. Kylie, has 12 different professional photographers and videographers that follow her around. Yeah. She's not just doing this,
Exactly.
Somebody's doing her makeup before she does her pajama pose.
And see, there you go. And all their sponsors, are top of the line. They're the best of the best, editors, face tuners, everything. And so, but it's so easy to just say, oh, she has a normal day in her pajamas. Let me just compare her perfect face to mine.
Right, to mine.
And it doesn't even
pimple
go.
and blemish, and my hair's
exactly.
up here.
And like bags under my eyes, dark circles.
Now, you've been doing this for a little while now.
I have, yes.
Brave and Beautiful is not, the last 12 seconds of your life, like you said, you probably started with your sisters, right? That's how it was needed. Have you had any feedback yet from young women that it's made a difference?
Absolutely. Honestly, I've been able to travel across the entire state this year with Brave and Beautiful. I've been able to go into high schools and middle schools. I'm actually flying up to Connecticut in a few months to be able to bring this message to a ministry up there. And it's really cool because, girls will reach out to me via social media, which you got to use the platform in order to make the difference, because that's where your audience is. But they'll reach out to me via social media, or they'll send me an email or message, and they're saying, like, thank you so much for your vulnerability and your transparency, because I feel like I'm just hiding behind a screen and I'm struggling with this, but no one's really speaking up about it. They're just going on with their perfect feed and, posting all these aesthetic posts. But as soon as you said, like, whoa, like, I'm struggling with comparison, this girl's having a perfect day and I'm not, then that's when girls can relate and say, wow, I never knew that someone like Miss Florida could have feelings like that.
I think that's...
I'm a real person.
And unfortunately, it's one of the benefits, hopefully, if you have a good support network, as you get a little bit older, you start to realize that I ain't all that bad.
Right.
And I'm a big fan of, you heard me talk about reflection, I talk about perspective, the understanding that maybe I'm not as bad as I think, or there are people that are worse off than me.
Right.
Or those beautiful people may have issues that, I was an actor when I was a young guy, and I always used to think, there was a long time in my life I said, I wish I had done that, but now I realize, a lot of those guys don't have a family. I mean, I have a relationship with 4 amazing kids.
Absolutely.
That I have an amazing relationships with people. I have an amazing relationship with my wife. If I become a famous actor, I might have had none of that, Do you find that effect in your life? Probably at your age, it's a little harder to find.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there's a saying that we like to say where, like, comparison is the thief of joy. As soon as you start comparing
I like
yourself,
that.
Yeah. As soon as you start comparing,
right. We need that on a T-shirt.
I love it. I love it. But as soon as you start comparing yourself to the person next to you, you're immediately forgetting about all that has been done in your life, all the blessings that you have, the relationships that you've built over time, because you're looking to the left and the right of what they have. And so for me, even throughout my year as Miss Florida, comparison was this just downward spiral that I fell into again. I started comparing myself to other state title holders, to Miss South Carolina, Miss Oklahoma, Miss Texas, Miss Georgia, all these girls that are go-getters. They have it together. And I just immediately was like, am I doing a good enough job? Am I pretty enough for Miss America? I don't think I'm smart enough. Like, you immediately
I call
in every
that the
phase.
comparison game.
Yeah, it's the trap. We call it the trap.
Yep.
And so
yeah, because I always lose that game. It's the game you always lose.
Right, yeah.
Because you don't know the rules.
No, it's so true. And so we have a talk with Brave and Beautiful called Overcoming the Image Trap. And it goes straight to the heart of, why do we compare ourselves? How can we overcome comparison? How can we understand that we are destined for great things that are different from our neighbors? And ultimately, how can we just bless our sisters in their purpose, and say, wow, like, she's doing great things. She needs to be right there. God's called her to be.
Do you share
in
that on
path.
your podcast?
I do, yeah.
Now, I have to ask, just because you are so beautiful, do you ever do like the Facebook post where you're
makeup free?
Where you're makeup free.
Oh, totally.
You're in the stained T-shirt.
Absolutely.
You're like,
it's funny.
Ladies, I'm not feeling it today, and this is me.
Totally. I just started doing hot yoga, actually, at Yoga 6 downtown, and I love it.
Great place, by the way. Yeah,
and it's funny because I'll post my, like, post-hot yoga session, and I mean, I look horrible. Like, literally, my hair is up. I got, like, baby hairs everywhere. I'm sweating. And I'm like, listen, sis, like, this is me. Yeah. I'm not trying to look good. But yeah, it's so important to still continue to be transparent and show people, I may have a crown and sash on, but as soon as I take this off, I kid you not, I have a makeup wipe in my car. I take off my makeup. I prefer, to be makeup free.
You're still Michaela.
Still Michaela. And that's a real person with real struggles.
Right. It's funny that I find in a lot of stuff that I've done, the birth of Cup of Joe
yeah, I love
was
it.
Joe just being authentic, and that was very scary.
Yeah.
About my life and my past, and who's going to judge me, and
right.
And my terribly smart wife, smartest person I've ever
oh,
met.
So sweet.
My smart wife said to me one day, she said, and I was a Christian by this point, she said, honey, what if it's just the one guy that needs to hear what you had to say? And that was,
true.
And I have found though that the authenticity may not be popular.
Right.
It might not get me millions of followers, but if
can impact one person,
if
that's
I
all that
impact
matters.
one person once a week, that's 50 people a year.
There you go.
In 10 years, that's 500 people.
See?
But it's not just those 500 people.
Right.
It's everybody those 500 people touch.
Absolutely.
So we as an individual can touch hundreds of thousands of people.
Right.
And I think the younger they are, the more they appreciate that. Because so many adults,
yes.
I would imagine so many title holders, they're putting on this image. They're never letting anybody see anything through. And when they let people through, it's not a pretty picture.
Right.
Can you be as attractive?
Yeah.
With authenticity as anything else.
I think it's honestly like the root and core of my year is I just want to show people that, I am authentic and genuine to myself, and I don't want to ever switch that or conform to someone else's image just to please them and gain their approval. And that was hard for me to say, like, if I don't even, get the approval of man, I don't get the approval from this person or that person because I'm staying true to myself, then that's okay. What did I lose? I didn't lose anything, because I'm still Michaela. I'm still honoring who I was created to be. So yeah, it was hard this year because you have to kind of die to, pleasing everyone. You're never going to do that, not on social media, not in relationships. And so when you realize that, you realize, wow, the only thing that I can really do for myself is stay true to who I am, stay on brand is like we like to say in PR. And and that's going to bring me like the most fruit in life.
That's, it's amazing that you say that, because so many people in their lives miss that point, is that you're not necessarily, there's, I think, a problem with people talk about live for today, but I think that's a lie. You might act for today, but but you're actually living for the future, and that's the best way to do it. Let me ask this. We have about 5 minutes left. What's next? What's next for you?
That is the golden question. So I'm crowning the next Miss Florida, June 13th in Lakeland at the RP Funding Center. We're celebrating our 85th anniversary of the Miss Florida program. So it is going to be a massive week, a massive event where we're inviting forever Miss Floridas to come back. And I'm so excited to just see who the next young woman's dream is going to come true. And she's about to step into
what's
the
a forever Miss Florida?
A forever Miss Florida is former Miss Floridas, but we don't like to say they're former.
Oh,
they're forever.
Right, forever. Okay.
That makes sense. I have to clear that up, but
vocabulary is important.
Yes.
I'm in this play, and we're coming into the week before opening, and everybody keeps describing it as Hell Week.
Yeah. Oh,
and
Hell
I'm
Week
like,
is...
you're not looking forward to it because you're calling it Hell Week.
Right.
Why don't we call it Opportunity Week?
That's a good
but it'll
one.
be difficult. So it's an opportunity.
There you go. In my dance program back in Alabama, it was so funny. We'd have Hell Week all the time the week before the show, and I mean, you just dread it. And you're right. Why don't we just call it Opportunity
Why do you call it
Let's
Hell
just
Week?
declare positivity.
Hell is going to suck. I can get
exactly.
Cut to the end of the book. Spoiler alert. So you're going to invite the Forever Miss Floridas.
Yes, so the Forever Miss Floridas will be there, and then after that, I'm done with the title. The job is over, and I'm hoping to get a job.
Do you take a vacation?
I honestly probably will. I really want to go to Europe. Hopefully the coronavirus isn't that bad there, but I would love to go there.
I can tell you, it's bad.
I know.
Because it's Italy.
Especially not Italy, exactly. I'm like,
they ruined it for everybody again,
I know. What about Spain, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. But
the only way that's worse is if the French ruined it for everybody,
oh my gosh. Well, I'm hoping to take a vacation right after, and then I would love to move to a big city next, whether it's New York, LA, Nashville, Atlanta, to work into the public relations industry, TV industry, and entertainment.
Okay, well, I will tell you, before you move to LA or if you're going to move to New York, sit down and have a conversation with me.
Okay.
I've been there.
Perfect.
It may not be all you imagine. If you're going to go to LA, you need to talk to Jay first.
I will.
Because him and his wife will give you some clue as to how rough that city can be and how it cannot be what you think it is.
It's true. The city life is no joke, but I think I'm ready. I got my South Lake, Clermont roots, but I'm ready for my big city dreams.
Okay, I'm going to warn you, Michaela. I went to New York when I was 35. Yeah. Thought I was ready,
You're never ready.
You're never ready. All right, we have Brave and Beautiful up here for you. What is the next for this?
So I have...
Are you going to continue this path?
Yes, I honestly want to continue it as long as I can. So we have a podcast called the Be Brave and Beautiful podcast, where you can listen to our original audio messages on Apple iTunes, and then also Spotify. And so we're shooting out messages every week, but we'll hopefully continue with the podcast in this
How
next
often
season.
do you drop a podcast?
We try and do it every other week, because Miss Florida just has me all over the road.
How long does it run? Tell us a little bit real
So we're
quickly.
in our second season. We did our first season on social media.
Okay.
This next season is about Be Unafraid 2. So we just did one of Be Unafraid to Transition, talking about transition season and how that can be uncomfortable. In our next season, I can't spoil it, so you're going to have to tune in and subscribe.
How long is each podcast?
Usually 25 to 30 minutes.
Oh, that's good. That's a ride to work.
It's a ride,
back.
exactly. And that's what we try to keep, or a workout on your treadmill. But we really have enjoyed listening.
Jay has these up. What are these? Tell us about this.
Yeah, so these are all our pictures from our website. We have had several different conferences all across the nation and all across the world. Be Brave and Beautiful actually originated in a church in Nairobi, Kenya. And so you'll see.
Oh, I love your video. Bring that up, Jay.
So
Scroll up to that a little better.
It's a video I made just off of image and declaring kind of positive identities over our life. But yeah, those are all pictures of different conferences that we've had in Dominican Republic and even here in Central Florida. It's taken us all across the world.
Well, I wish you all the luck in
Thank
that. I want to
you.
ask you, this is your camera right
Okay,
here.
hey.
You can look into that camera. Tell
Awesome.
people if they have questions, if they
Yeah.
want to get involved, if they want to help. Because Brave and Beautiful might be something that... Do you have guests on your podcast?
Yes, we would love to have guests.
So
absolutely.
if you want people to contact you about any of that, tell them
Okay.
how to get in touch. I'm sure Jay is bringing up your contact information.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
But let them know.
Okay, so with Miss Florida, we have a few contacts. So Miss Florida, you can follow me on Instagram at Miss America FL. That's MISS America FL. Then you can follow Brave and Beautiful, where we'll be posting all our positive messages at Be Brave and Beautiful on Instagram as well, or visit our website, which is bebraveandbeautiful.net. So shoot us a message on Instagram or on our website, and I usually respond in less than 24 hours. I try my best, but yeah, those are messages and social media platforms that I'm on 24/7. So.
Okay, I am going to surprise you with a question.
All right, let's hear it.
There was a fella named James Lipton, big guy in theater and acting.
Yeah.
He was known for Inside the Actor's Studio. He had a question he ended everything with. When you die and go to heaven, what would you like to hear God say to you?
Oh, wow, that is a great question. Probably well done, my good and faithful servant.
Oh, I love that answer. I love that answer.
Yeah, because I think, when you strive for the Lord's approval and when he says that, what more would you ever want in life?
Yeah. You can always tell somebody who's actually like a real believer.
Yeah.
Because that should be their answer, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who isn't, well, we'll see what the answer. So I'm going to start layering this into the show.
They're probably like, nice to have you here.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Michaela,
for having me.
joining
I
us.
appreciate it.
You've been a great guest. Look, if you know somebody that should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, and obviously we are getting some A-list guests. If you know somebody that should be a guest, reach out to us. Let me know. I know my contact information is up there. Please, 5 days a week, we'd love to bring the guests on. And I'm booking out June, July, August for some people who are busy. So nobody is out of the realm. I take a shot every week at the White House. Okay, so I am not above asking anybody to come on Joe Knows South Lake. So maybe I should start doing that. I think I'm going to start saying that. Just speak it into existence.
You should. There you
go. So, also, if you are not advertising your business and branding your business on South Lake TV, you are missing some of the best priced advertising in the area, in all of the Orlando Central Florida market. I say that without question. Finally, as Michaela is doing, using her greatness to bring out the greatness in others. What a work. Be Brave and Beautiful. I love that. As she's using to bring out her greatness in others, there is greatness in you. And I'm going to encourage you today, use your greatness to bring out the greatness in others. Touch a life and you'll change the world. You may never see that change, but it will change nonetheless. This has been Michaela McLean, Miss Florida, and Joe Carlisle on Joe Knows South Lake. I will see you tomorrow, and I really do love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe Knows South Lake. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors: